Hello, scholars. This is J.S. Misra. Now, today I have decided to explain two terms: romantic revival and romantic revolt. What is the basic difference between these two? What is romantic revolt and what is romantic revival? Now, the first we take the romantic revival. Revival of what? Revival. Now, here we say the romantic revival. Better we should begin it. What is romanticism? Romanticism is a term. Actually, who is a romantic? Romantic is he who does not follow some set rules, some set norms of society or literature. Romantic is he who wishes to enjoy the things at large, the things in complete liberty. So, Shakespeare in literature, you may call him the first romantic person, the first one who decided not to follow the set norms, the set theories of tragedy. And in one of his writings, you may find the three unities, but he denied using the three unities. And his own perspective was, it was said in Aristotle's time that in tragedy, it was Aristotle's definition that tragedy must be a pure tragedy and comedy must be a pure comedy. There must not be the blending in these two. But Shakespeare denied the fact. He said, no man's life is neither a pure comedy nor a pure tragedy. Rather, it is the blending of both. So we find more all the tragedies of Shakespeare begin with the tragedy. All the comedies begin with the tragedy, and all the comedies begin with the tragedy. Definitely, our life is the blending of these two, tragedy and comedy. Now, coming to the our question, the difference between romantic revival and romantic revolt. Romantic revival means the romanticism is started by Shakespeare, was again revised by Wordsworth and other romantic poets of Wordsworth's time. They revised the norms of Shakespeare. They revived the rules and regulations of Shakespeare, the way Shakespeare used things. These romantic poets, Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, Sade, all these followed that trend of Shakespeare. That's why the romanticism of Shakespeare was revised by these poets. That's why it is called romantic revival. Revival of what? Revival of Shakespeare's trend, revival of Shakespeare's way of writing the things. Now, the first thing is romantic revival. Now, come to the question romantic revolt. What is revolt and revolt against whom? Definitely, these romantic poets revolted the set norms of Alexander Pope. Basically the heroic couplet of Alexander Pope. They said they may use heroic couplet, but they are not bound to follow Alexander Pope's heroic couplet and norms of pseudo classical writers. Shakespeare actually did not follow the set rules of Aristotle, Plato, and other great classical writers. He opposed them. So he was romantic. And again, it was revised by Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, Sade, and Byron. This was romantic revival. And what happened? What we call Alexander Pope followed the set norms of classical writers. He revised that things, but Alexander Pope himself was opposed by, revolted by these romantic poets. So the opposition of Alexander Pope's set rules is a kind of revolt. These poets revolted against set norms of Alexander Pope. That's why it is called romantic revolt. Romantic poets revolted against the set norms of Alexander Pope. It is called romantic revolt and romantic revival of classicals and classicals learning. So thinking this, that the two things, romantic revolt and romantic revival, is possibly clear. Let me sum up the entire thing. First, Shakespeare opposed the set norms of Aristotle, Plato, Ovid, Dante, and other classical writers. Shakespeare opposed them. Then Shakespeare was opposed by Alexander Pope, and Alexander Pope was opposed by the Romantic poets. So that was a trend: Romantic revolt and Romantic revival. Romantic revival of classical learning by these Romantic poets, and Romantic revolt against the set norms of Alexander Pope's theory. So, thinking possibly that the two terms, romantic revolt and romantic revival, should be clear to all of you. I will be coming with some other videos of literature and grammar in some forthcoming days. Whenever I get time, I shall share those things. So, be linked with us and try to be benefited if you can. Thank you very much.